What's up guys, Constantine here. If it looks like this shoulder is higher than this shoulder, it's because it is, because I'm standing on a slant. Why? Because I had to find a film spot before it got dark and I needed to get this footage out to y'all. So it's a little crooked. Camera's not crooked, ground's crooked. Shoulders are crooked. Everything else is okay. Stop the rambles, get to the video, Constantine. All right, so this video today is gonna be about the top 10 water sources. And there's so many different types of water that we just hit the 10 that we see most frequently and that we utilize most frequently. So there's more out there, but we hit the top 10 and it's going in descending order of the best to the worst. So number 1, springs, spring life, as me and DB used to call it. We would holler at each other, felt like miles away sometimes if we found a spring, and we would wait for each other at the springs because spring water, no filter, no problem. You get it directly from the earth filters it for you, so it is so good. Yum, 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 yummy. It tastes very good. Can you taste this difference in water? You can. And spring water, there's just such a good taste to it that we can't get enough. Every time we see a spring, even if we had just left a water source half a mile back, 2 steps back, we will stop at that spring, pound back a liter of water, make ourselves feel uncomfortable with the amount of water weight we just drank because we love springs so much. So spring at number 1, couldn't be anywhere else, number 1. Number 2, Snowmelt. Kind of in the same ballpark as springs, but not really. Snowmelt, again, big no filter, no problem situation, unless you're really down below. If you can see the top of the mountain and it's snowmelt, you got a good bet that it's not going to be contaminated. Sometimes there's that algae that will contaminate it. We luckily, knock on wood, if you didn't see our hand, it was outside of the film knocking on a tree. But if you get the water at higher elevations that snowmelt, no filter, no problem, taste yummy, 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 yummy. That's the second time we've done that. We got to stop. So yeah, snowmelt is really, really good. We don't filter it. We know it's taken a while to get to this point that we pick and choose our sources more from feel and look than just filtering everything. So it might not make you comfortable, but we really enjoy not having a filter snowmelt. And it's not the smartest, not the best, but we feel confident in what we're picking, and we make judgment calls when we're out there about where that snowmelt's coming from and what we can see. And if we can't see where that snowmelt's coming from and we're at 5,000, 6,000 feet elevation, most of the time, super filtered. So snowmelt comes in at number 2. Number 3, is this really trail water? In the desert it is, at least. So this is spigot water, or water from a hose, or water from a spigot. So this is really nice, and we had to throw this in there because it's not really on other trails besides when you get closer to town or coming out of town. But it's, again, a no filter, no problem water situation. As you can tell, we are big fans of no filter, no problem, because it takes time out of our day. We don't have to sit down, filter that water. We can pop it in there, chug a liter, pop it back in there, get a liter, put it in our pack, and go. So spigot water is really, really nice when you have the instances to do it. We don't see it that frequently, like I said, leaving town or coming into town. More desert sections, not really a lot of northwest hiking or western hiking. Depends where you are. But if you are there and it's there as well, great water source, because it is actually a man-made water source. So does it really count? We're gonna count it. Hey, it's a top 10 list, top 11 list. We're gonna count it. So number 3 is water from a spigot. Number 4, there's a classification level here, and we're gonna just call it small tributaries. So there's small tributaries, medium, large, creeks, streams. We're going for small tributaries to be kind of exact, because when it's a smaller tributary, it means there's less places for it to get contaminated. If you know it's not getting fed by all other tributaries and it's coming straight from wherever that source is, that means it has less places to get contaminated. So we trust smaller tributaries way more often than we trust bigger ones or creeks. Not to say we always go no filter, no problem on those. Again, it's a judgment call. It's about where you are, what's around you, and I don't know, we filter smaller tributaries quite frequently, actually. Sometimes it tempts us not to, and we get the better of ourselves and do it. So smaller tributaries are number 4. Number 5, cow tanks. Yes, we had to put that in there. Again, more desert themed, but cow tanks are beautiful. They are nature's gift to the world, folks. They're cows' gifts to the world. If you come upon a cow tank after a 30-mile waterless section, you are gonna be jumping for joy. You might even try to give that cow a hug. I know, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, folks. So cow tanks, sometimes they're really not the best water source. It depends the time of season and depends where you are. Sometimes we've had cow tanks that have had multiple inches of water. That's it, filled with bees, filled with a dead cow next to it. We had to drink that water, but we wish we didn't. But then we've had cow tanks that are bubbling up. It's being fed from the ground. There's a windmill that's pushing water up through a spring. And we've had cow tanks that spring is being fed directly into it, and it's a piped spring, so it's a spring again, but it's a cow tank. So cow tanks vary in form, but they are very nice when you get a good one, and they are absolutely horrible when you get a bad one. So you gotta hope. There's not really a lot of in between. You either get a super bad one or you get a super good one. There's not like a cow tank. It's a yay cow tank or a cow tank. So cow tanks are number 5 because their prevalence is there, especially desert hiking. You are gonna use that water almost 100% of the time. And thank the cows while you're at it, because if they weren't there, that cow tank wouldn't be there. And we love cows. Show your love to cows, folks. So cow tanks, number 5. Number 6, streams. Told you we're gonna get back into this. So number 4 was small tributaries and 6 is streams, because there's a difference. So a stream is kind of a feeding group for all those small tributaries. There could be 20 up the way, a few miles up the trail. There could be 50 up there. There could be 2 or 3, but it's filtering into a bigger body of water. So streams are still great water sources. Some of our best water sources have been streams, or most needed water sources have been streams, and almost guaranteed that we will filter streams, because so much is getting fed into it. Even if it looks good and you have a good feeling about it, you never know what's up the way a little bit, and you don't know where all these other tributaries are getting fed from. So a stream is kind of like a collection, and when you have more places for water to get contaminated, some of the time it's going to get contaminated. So streams are great, but be wary and make sure you filter them, because it has so much feeding into it that if you don't filter them, you might not be filtering that thing from that one tributary 20 miles up, but you might be clear and good to go besides that one tributary. But since it fed into the stream, you're going to have a bad time. So streams are number 6. Number 7, troughs. Not our favorite. Again, there's a difference between troughs and cow tanks. So cow tanks are going to be where the cows drink from. They're going to be where most of the time there's a spring pushing stuff up, and it's going to be fairly reliable. But a trough is somebody's going to have to go and fill that tank, or rain's going to have to fill that tank, or something is going to have to fill that tank. It's not a consistent cycle of water getting pushed into it. And troughs are really sketchy. Can be great water because it can all be rainwater, but in that trough as well, it could be dead empty, dry as a bone. And we've had that instance happen to us many times. And it hits this list because even though there's similarities, we wanted to define that for you of a cow tank and a trough, because a cow tank, as we said, there's going to be active cows in the area, yes, around that tank. So the farmer or whoever's managing that land or the spring is going to make sure it's fed and can water multiple cows and multiple hikers. We're out there too. So that's cow tanks. But troughs, it's maybe seasonal. It's maybe if the farmer goes out there to fill up that tank, maybe if it rains, him or her are going to go graze their cattle over in this section maybe once a year, so they only fill the tank up once a year. There's a lot of different things that go into it. So that's kind of the difference between troughs and cow tanks. But troughs are still amazing things, and we like them as a water source when they're there. When they're not, it's a bummer and it's dangerous. Be wary. Know the difference. Again, these next two are going to have a few discrepancies, kind of similar things. But number 8 is ponds. Ponds, not our favorite. We will always filter a pond, no matter what. Could be a snowmelt pond, could be an alpine pond. but we're gonna filter it, and it's just because it's a stagnant body of water. Water might be moving through from snowmelt, getting filtered out, but there's fish, people might swim in it. We're gonna filter that water. It's sitting there, it's a pool of water. Even though it's big and it still might move, it's a pool of water that sits, and it's great water. I mean, we don't have anything to complain about it. It's really good water, and most of the time it's gonna be a fresh pond. We could potentially get away without filtering it, but we have a bias and we have a preference, and we're human, so we are biased against ponds. No, we love ponds, but not for drinking. We'll drink them if we have to, good water if you have to, but if we can and we know a pond's coming up, we'll try to coordinate our water around that. So number 9, lakes. What's the difference, Constantine? You just said pond. Number 9, lakes, big bodies of water. At least in our heads, ponds are smaller bodies of water, usually in alpine zones or usually in areas around it, and there's probably a specific definition, but again, our head, we picture a pond small, we picture a lake giant. So lakes are down the list from ponds because, again, bigger body of water, more area for it to get contaminated with. And lakes are, at least in our head again, are going to be in areas that are more popular. You can reach them easier. It's not super far in the back country, so there's going to be more people that go to them. More people that go to them, more people that swim in them. More people that swim in them. You can follow that train of thought. I'm not going to continue down that line. You can follow it. You know where I'm going. So lakes, while we'll drink that water, we really try to avoid it. We avoid ponds when we can. But we make sure we can avoid lakes. We're not a big preference of drinking lakes. Big bodies of water, giant bodies of water, got fish, got critters, got leeches, got the variety of them all, guys. And we're filtering out all that stuff, clogs the filter. You can have a very sedimenty lake, if that's a word. And I don't know, not our preference, so lakes coming at number 9. Number 10, and there's a lot of other water sources in that 9, but these are the ones that we have a feeling towards and a preference towards. So number 10, this is our least favorite out of if there were 100 water sources there. Number 10, let's get to it. Rivers. Not a fan of filtering rivers. Why? Because rivers, we're gonna go back to that metaphor. Small tributary feeds a bigger stream. Bigger streams feed a giant river. And streams can come from all over the place. They can come from 100 miles back, 150 miles back. They can come, I don't know, a stream can come 1,000 miles. Might have been an exaggeration. You get the gist. So a river is all of that water feeding to the low point and feeding into one body of water. So you're not taking contamination from one specific zone. You're taking contamination from that entire valley. You're taking contamination from that entire mountain range. A river is beautiful, great to look at, fun to swim in sometimes if it's not moving too fast and it's not the GDT. Oh, sorry, Magpie, we had to throw that in there. But rivers, great to look at, beautiful, great to camp by. Bring your water there. We'll even carry water for 5 to 10 miles to camp at a river, knowing full well there's water there. Stupid? Probably. It's what we believe in, and we haven't gotten Giardia yet. Knock on wood. We've gotten crypto. Not a fan. Or we're giving you too much of a hint. So, rivers, we're not thrilled about them. We're thrilled to walk through them. We're thrilled to walk by them. We're thrilled to camp by them. But as a water source, we will avoid a river at all costs. We've done a 38-mile day before waterless because we chose to avoid a river, and we followed that river for 6 miles. We could have gotten water at any time. We were very thirsty. Maybe a little bit stupid, but rivers, we're just not a fan. There's a lot of sediment, a lot of contamination, a lot of different things, and we've said contamination a lot this video, and we're not saying contamination in a bad way necessarily. There can be bad contaminations. We're just saying that the environment around you can create different particles that can flow in that water and can make a human sick. Might be great out in the environment, might be great for animals, but for human hikers, we might get sick. So that's what we're talking about, contamination. We're not going to go too into the theory of it. And we got off on a tangent. So number 10, rivers. We will not drink from them. We we can count it on 2 hands how many times we've had to drink from a river, because if we didn't, it would have put us in a very, very, very dangerous spot. So, nope. Nope, nope. We're gonna nope our way right out of number 10. Let's nope our way right into number 11, shall we? Secret number 11, hot springs. Whew, we thought rivers were bad. Don't drink from a hot spring. What we like to call hot springs, or people juice, because it's a hot tub for people and all the juices start throwing around in that hot spring. Super, super, super nasty. Not a fan of hot springs. So we actually drank from a hot spring unbeknownst to us. It's not like we purposely went to a hot spring and drank from it. Unbeknownst to us, we drank from a hot spring and we got severe cryptosporidium. And the next 5 to 6 days, we lost another 15 to 20 pounds on an already emaciated body frame. And it was not good. We had a rough time. And that trail had a rough time too, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, number 11, hot springs, don't drink. So guys, love doing this. As you can see, it's raining, so gonna wrap it up here. But this one was really fun. I like talking about water as water's coming down on me. Ironic. All right, so yeah, if you love this stuff, we would love to see you all over on Patreon. And you can see the behind the scenes. We got about a month and a half until our big 2021 year, 8,000 miles, baby. We'd love to hear from you as well if you like this, so please reach out to us. And we have a sale going on over at 11 Skies for the winter sale to get you guys ready for hiking season 2021, baby. It's coming here fast, and we want to give you the best deal we can give you, so you're ready. And we're getting ready as well. And we're getting drenched right now, so we're gonna do a quick one. Cool, cool? Peace.